Well, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. It's your boy BG, my girl KELZ with the intels, and Bob, the cannabis cowboy. And if you are a pissed off Dallas Cowboy fan, we need you to tap in today. Let's talk about this blowout at AT&T. Literally, it was a GTA. I mean, they came in and did a big felony on us, Bob. I know you've been playing that GTA before. You recognize that music?
I did. I was jamming to that, man. Are you kidding me? I was waiting. I was waiting for some of the other channels to pop in there. But I want to point something out, man. When sure, we're pissed off when we're looking at that video of Campbell in there with his team. But even after a big win, when was the last time you saw McCarthy interacting with our squad in the locker room in that manner, with that kind of fever, with that kind of emotion? There's things in this organization that have been sorely lacking for a very long time. We all know that the reason why Jerry hires bad coaches is because he can control them. But it's starting to boil over now at this point. And I noticed so many other times when I'm looking at other teams, how much more structured, how much hungrier, how much faster, how much discipline they have, as opposed to us. And it gets super depressing, man. It gets super depressing rallying for a team who it just doesn't feel like they want to give that back. I'm not putting this all on the players either, Bob.
You know what they call that, Bob?
What do they call that?
Culture. Yes. How you doing this morning, KELZ? I know you got the pink on over there. You got the long face. Talk to us. How you feeling this morning about these boys?
BC awareness.
Okay. So I'm going to touch a little bit with Bob just said. Now, Freaky Mike, he does give pep talks, but it's kind of like a dry pep talk. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but it doesn't have that, what we call in the Black Baptist Church, that anointing oil. It does not have that on it.
Yeah, he ain't got that vibe.
It's very, he talks very monotone.
That's what we're talking about, gentlemen. Yeah, you did a great job, and that's what I'm saying. Let's go. Let's bring it in. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Whereas, okay, are we getting a hurricane?
Oh, no. Don't say the H word.
So, now that word just came out nowhere. But like with the clapper, okay, we can say a lot of things about the clapper. When he does talk, it has emotion to it and everything, especially that game after his father passed, that Thanksgiving game, and he was like, spend time with your loved ones and your family, and then he just broke down, and that locker room gathered around him because he was still in the grieving process.
Yeah.
So with McCarthy, it's like, I feel you, but you gotta put some anointing oil onto it. But the locker room is lost because, again, what I said a couple of weeks ago was a lot of players, they're hearing you, but they're not hearing you. It's going in one ear, out the other.
That's called culture.
Because they're looking at you like, you're only here for 1 year, so.
Why is the culture the way it is in Dallas? I don't even blame Mike McCarthy. Yeah, Mike McCarthy could give us some, vocal speeches, may feel us a little tingly, you know what I mean? But when it comes to this team, I don't see any player toeing the line. Like, one thing that's got me totally pissed off, and if you're pissed off, I need you to tap in this morning because I know I got a bunch of pissed off Cowboy fans out there. We're 3 pissed off Cowboy fans here this morning, too. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. So if you're tapping in this morning, let us know how you feel. What I'm tired of seeing Dak is going to the bench and get on that fucking iPad. Like, what does that iPad do, bro? You go over there, you get on the iPad, you start looking down because you know the camera's on your ass. Like, stand up and take the heat, baby. Who is going to stand up on this team and take the heat? I don't see, not now, one player in this team.
Or get in the face of someone
willing to toe the line, willing to, excuse my French ladies, willing to grow a pair and lay them out there. I don't see this with this team.
Well, a lot of that has to do with now, like what we were talking about backstage. A lot of stuff has changed with current CBA rules. There's a lot of things that you can no longer do that you used to do. So, like during bye weeks and everything, Troy Aikman, there's been a couple of times where Troy Aikman and Irv did not connect. They will spend time after practice, hours after practice, to make sure that their routes are where it's supposed to be, where they can work on it. And if if Irv drops a pass, he will ask Aikman, okay, I saw what you did, but where do you need me to be on this route? Or if we're doing this type of slant or this slot. With the current CBAs, you can no longer do that.
Well, let's take a look at some of these numbers, man, because we got to try to figure out something. You know, everybody's like, hey, Dalvin Cook is the answer. Zeke is not the answer. Dak is not the answer. This team is not the answer. Nobody's really talking about the trenches. But let's just take a look at this, man. The Detroit Lions almost hung 500 yards total offense on us, 184 rushing yards. People are mad at me because I picked the Detroit Lions to beat the Cowboys. People are mad at my girl KELZ because she picked the Detroit Lions to beat the Cowboys. Why? Because we can't stop the fucking run.
Bro, what can we stop?
Nothing. Except for this culture.
Listen, if you chose the Dallas Cowboys to win yesterday, you were the kind of person who moves with your heart instead of your mind.
Exactly.
Plain and simple.
It was tough for me. It's tough for me.
Listen, that's not me talking shit on you, by the way. I need to let you know this. I'm just saying you're someone who goes a little bit more with hope and feeling as opposed to facts, numbers, and the fact that our team sucks really bad, and we got very lucky with the wins that we got this year. The issue is that we had to pay a few people a lot of money, and now we don't have any of the other pieces that we had. Dan Quinn left with a lot of pieces of our defense, took them with him. And a lot of pieces of this team are not what they were last year. We can't expect the dudes who are paid a lot of money right now to be the only people winning a game for us. The problem is nobody else is pulling their freaking weight right now because they're just not very good players other than Parsons, Prescott, Lamb, and I know everyone wants to shit on Dak, man. There's only so much Dak can do with a team that does nothing. You can only do so much as one person.
I mean, it takes 11. You're right. I get it. It's just culture. One word to sum up the problems of the Cowboys is culture. Where does culture start from? Well, I'll tell you, I did 23 years in the Navy. Where's all my military veterans out there? You know, when you go from command to command, you may get a culture change. One command may be all great. Everything's all hunky-dory. You work for the same way out in corporate America. You may leave one office and go to a different office, and it'd be a totally different climate, a totally different culture in there. But right now, the culture starts with our owner and Jerry Jones. And when Jerry Jones was asked in the media, do you still believe that this team can be competitive with the players that it has? He has the audacity to say, yes, I do. And they say, how? And he says, I just do.
Right.
That's that narcissist shit you were talking about earlier, Bob, in the back of the studio here. I think our owner, I know our owner is a grandeur narcissist. And we're in domestic violence month right now. And if you're tired of being abused as a Cowboys fan domestically from this owner, it's time to stand up. What are we going to do, Cowboys fans? How do we change this culture?
Can I
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I got my church notes, okay?
Okay, go ahead. You got your church clothes and your notes. Go ahead, girl.
I got my church notes. And I'm going to sum this whole game, 60 minutes of football in 4 hours, what happened. We were outmatched, unprepared, outcoached, undisciplined. Like you said earlier, over 500 yards allowed.
Almost 500, 492. Yeah, 492.
Hold on.
Almost.
Had an Amber Alert to come through. We got an Amber Alert in the air.
Damn.
Sacked 4 times. We haven't produced any turnovers.
Dak was sacked 4 times?
It was
in his game?
Sacks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. We haven't produced any turnovers, and a lot of that falls on Zimmer and the defense. 5 turnovers this game, and let's add the Pittsburgh game. That's 7 turnovers in total. This team has no identity, nor the personnel. The defense can't stop anyone from scoring. Dak was under pressure the whole night. Offense needs to get better at protecting any QB that we had. Dak's been throwing on his back foot every game for these last 6 weeks. They like to run a smash concept in this West Coast offense. It's not working because the Lions player Brian Branch has seen this play before, which resulted in the interception in the end zone, which means again we are exposed, and the game took a major step back from last week.
So I think with that being said, everybody knows that Jerry Jones is the culture setter for this organization. And as a result, that culture has allowed the bullshit to go on. Because I don't see anybody other than Dak Prescott. Like, even though he sits down with the iPad and I get mad with that, another thing that pisses me off about him is when we're down 30 points, but you over there trying to run around and give pep talks to everybody like Troy Aikman, talk about you need to get that Troy Aikman speech down and go tell your offensive lineman, this is junior league.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I dare a fucking coach to do that under Jerry right now.
This
I dare
shit's junior league. Not fucking blocking nobody out there. Nothing. Y'all remember the Troy Aikman speech? Go ahead, KELZ.
Right. So, like what Bob said, can't do that under Jerry Jones. Now, with that Pittsburgh game, I did see some backstage footage from the Pittsburgh game. Dak said a lot of this is on me on that first half. And I'm just paraphrasing. He said, we have to step up. Our defense, we don't have the people that we need, our key players on defense as well as offense. He said, ride with me. I will carry this team on my back. There has been times where Dak has carried the team on his back, but he'd be like, but the thing is, he has that F the play calling. We just going to play ball. We need to get back at that. F the play calling.
Man, look, Dak Prescott has been sacked 16 times. Dak Prescott has been sacked 16 times in 6 games. That's almost 3 times a game. That's the offensive line.
Right. Again, F the play.
It ain't Dak. If Dak can drop back and the defense is in the backfield before he can execute the play, that's on the offensive line. Who the fuck is this offensive line coach?
And Schottenheimer.
Another relic.
Oh, Schottenheimer is the offensive coordinator. He's also the offensive line coach too.
Oh, the offensive line coach. Dang.
Yeah, isn't that your guy Chin?
No,
what's his name?
he's the assistant. He's the
okay.
assistant.
Yeah, I want to get on him here, but man, this offensive line sucks. It's fucking trash.
Oh, it's the old guy. That's who
the old guy.
The old guy.
I'm just saying. No. Dak has been on his back. We paid Dak Prescott all this money. We got Dak Prescott getting all this money, right?
Right. And
he's going down. Like, we've got the house on this offensive line. Like, Dak is 1 sack away from breaking his fucking leg like Aiden Hutchinson did. RIP to the Detroit fans. Sorry for you. But, hey, man, injuries are part of the game. Y'all was laughing when Dak got hurt. I'm not laughing at Aiden, but I'm just saying he's 1 sack away from being an Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, my prayers are with Hutchinson.
Me too. I just say that to say a point. Dak Prescott is 1 injury away. Then we got Cooper. Cooper came in the game last night and threw a fucking pick.
And again, a lot of this, like what I say, and I agree with everything he said. F the play calling. Sometimes, like I said during the pregame show, this should have been a Jake Ferguson and a Deuce Vaughn game because they can be shifty, they be crafty. Ferguson can block. Why are we still throwing to Lamb that is double coverage?
Well, we know why. He's wide receiver 1, and they got heat between them too. The media is trying to divide them. Dak is trying to force it. Dak has been forcing it. That's why he's got all these turnovers now. He's about to eclipse Jalen Hurts, but Isaac's tapping in. That's a great question. No, Jerry will not sit in the office. One thing about a grandeur narcissist, if you want to look it up, I'll just go ahead and look it up. If you want to learn about a grandeur narcissist, that is what our owner is right now, currently in domestic violence month. This is why Cowboy fans are tired of the fucking abuse. Our owner is a grandeur narcissist, and he will not relinquish control. He will not admit to his mistake, and he is going to continue to do what he's going to do.
A lot of that is called pride too. And like I keep saying before, Jerry is trying to prove himself a point that he can build a Super Bowl team or better than Jimmy Johnson. Well, 30 years in, how is that working out for you?
Here it is right here. It ain't even about Jimmy no more. We passed Jimmy. Grandiose narcissism.
No, I'm just saying that's where Jerry Jones is at. He's trying to build this.
He got to get out of his own fucking way. Grandiose narcissism, also known as overt narcissism. Y'all, we are in domestic violence awareness month. You know, there's a lot of Cowboy fans. We are in this domestic abusive marriage with the Dallas Cowboys, it is important to know who you are dealing with on how to try to create boundaries, especially with a narcissist. Is a pattern. A grandiose narcissism is a pattern of behavior characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, entitlement, and superiority. People with grandiose narcissism may also have high self-esteem, be overconfident, be willing to exploit others, be hostile or aggressive when challenged, be uncooperative, selfish, or overbearing, have obsession, need for admiration. Does that sound familiar? Only owner everybody knows in the league. Lack of empathy for others. He damn sure don't give a fuck about fans, because with that 29 million we still got in the salary cap right now, KELZ, and we ain't did shit, and we still good with our guys.
Yep. Can you imagine, as someone who decided to put out a product, knowing that the product you made is pretty much subpar to every other product in the same line, but people keep buying it over and over and over and over again, making you the richest person selling that particular product? I can't imagine being that kind of person. Now, we're talking about a guy who's doing that, who's also in love with football, played football with Jimmy, played football, knows football, but has been way out of touch with the way on the field things operate for a very long time. We've been having this conversation for so long that I almost don't even want to have it anymore, because until Jerry is out of the way, meaning letting an actual hierarchy happen, owner stays here, buys all the shit and shuts the hell up, and then general manager takes care of the coaches, who the coaches talk to the players, and the coaches and players talk to each other, and they answer to each other. Until that happens, this is going to continue over and over. We're going to go through these amazing teams with Romo and DeMarco Murray and all these players that are just so much better than the brand they play for, that have to outplay the star, and they simply can't. We've gone through so many years of this. When are we going to learn that Jerry doesn't really care about whether he puts good things out on the field or not? Because we continue to buy every freaking year anything with the Dallas Cowboys on it. Until that goes down.
And you know what
stops.
Hold on, let me sum this up right quick, Kelly, and I'll let you go. Grandiose narcissists are overconfident and often rely on their own intuition to make decisions. Does that sound like Jerry? This can lead them to make less accurate decisions. Does that sound like Jerry? They remain confident in their decisions and externalize blame. Does that sound like Jerry? They also often assume leadership positions in organizations. Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, man,
winner, chicken dinner.
That needs to be on his gravestone, man. All that shit right there.
But let me tell you, what was it? A couple of years ago, okay.
I disagree.
We're just getting out of the 2023. So the 2022 season, when the team came to DC to play, and my fan club welcomed the team in, and Will McClay came downstairs, and it wasn't only my fan club, it was also the Northern Virginia fan club. Some of those members came as well. He came down, Will McClay came down, and he was talking to everyone. He thanked those members to come in, for welcoming the team in, and he asked questions. So one of the questions that was asked was, if you're the VP of player personnel and you do all this, that, and a third that a regular NFL GM will do, why do you not have that title? So, of course, he's rambling, trying to find the politically correct words to say. Basically, what I got out of it when I read between the lines of what he was saying is Jerry Jones do not want to relinquish that to him, because if Will McClay goes ham and goes off, he's going to do a better job as the general manager than he would do.
Yeah.
And he won't get the credit.
Right. That's narcissist fear right there.
He won't get the credit, and because everything will go to Will McClay. In other words, this will be another thing that with Jimmy Johnson, and more questions, and more people will spend more time with Will McClay than Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones gonna have to get out of his own way. Let's listen to what Michael Irvin had to say. He tapped in on He tapped in on YouTube last night before the game was over. Because do y'all remember when Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Trayvon Diggs were all at the bench and the camera was on them at the end? That didn't look very well to me. And here is what Michael Irvin had to say about that. Let's listen in right quick on 88 behavior.
And I don't know if anybody could help this. I really don't know. I saw CeeDee, Trayvon, and Michael on the bench talking. I hope they're talking about how the hell they're going to fix this problem. I hope that we're not talking about what the hell they're going to be hanging out and doing next weekend on their off week, because that's exactly what they play like.
Right there, playmaker calling out the other 88. Y'all, what do y'all think those three were talking down at the end of the bench? I'll tell you what I think in just a minute, but I want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Bob, what you think? Let's start off with Bob. What you think they was chatting about down at the end of the bench down there with the camera on their ass?
Oh, that's an interesting story. As soon as Detroit scored their third touchdown, I turned the game off and went to the gym. So I have no idea what happened after halftime, and I refuse to fucking watch it. So I have no idea. But
That's how you create boundaries with a narcissist. You know, that's how you create boundaries with a narcissist. You gotta, otherwise you're gonna sit there. You know, that's what kills me about these loyalists that I like to hear about. The loyalists that I will never leave out the game. I don't care how bad we get beat. That's cool. You can take the abuse. I'm not gonna take the abuse, especially not during domestic violence month. KELZ, what do you think they were talking about at the end of the bench down there?
Okay, so this is what I know, what I think, and what I know. They're probably trying to figure out how we're going to move on from this week after this game. What I do know is they have their walkthrough today. What time is it?
11:22 on the West Coast.
So right now they're currently in their walkthrough in their meeting before they head out for the bye. Tomorrow they do have a community service project, from my understanding, and then they cannot be touched or anything during the bye week, because again, with certain CBA rules that's in place, you can't do like what you used to do.
And I get I understand the reasoning behind the collective bargaining agreements and the NFL Players Association, but it's all tied in with the free agency thing that started a long time ago. And it's all about the monetization of these players and making sure that they are protected as assets, not protected as people, trust me, but protected as assets in the NFL.
Property.
Yes, exactly. And it's all it is don't hurt this property, because this property can't generate money through jerseys and all this other shit. People don't understand the other stuff that goes on in the background that makes it hard for these decisions to be made. But regardless, there hasn't been a reason really for any of our team to kind of fight for anything. They're making dough. They come to Dallas. If they're not making it in their salary, they're making it everywhere else because they have a star in their helmet.
So I think that contributes to culture. If everybody's worried about me and not worried about the team, I mean, that's, I think, what we're seeing right now. We're seeing everybody that's all worried about me, worried about podcasts. Like, you got Trayvon Diggs out there. Let me just ask y'all, because I think Trayvon Diggs is sucking right about now. He can't tackle for shit. Am I just the only one that feels that way? How do y'all feel about Trayvon Diggs' play as of late? Because he was down there on that bench too, and he was out there fucking missing tackles. So I was wondering if he was I thought maybe they were talking about how he could start tackling better or something. Maybe he was asking Micah that shit.
I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Because like I said before, they ran a smash concept. They did that concept when we played Detroit, the last home game from last season, and they also played it during the wild card playoff game with Green Bay. So you don't think that Dan Campbell, the DC, Aaron Glenn, I have to give Aaron Glenn credit where credit is due. He ran one hell of a defense for Detroit. And their OC, you don't think they recognize that? And not only those three, but like I said before, Brian Branch that plays on the field. And when he saw what Dak Prescott was doing, and not only that, they ran the smash concept twice. They did it when he was trying to throw to Turpin. And then you did it again in the red zone, which resulted in an interception.
Leonardo's tapping in, says Diggs isn't 100%. He came back too soon. They're using him as a decoy, hoping people don't pass on or run at him. You can see that. I agree 100%. But don't be on your ass on social media, Trayvon, talking about I'm one of them ones. I travel with the best on the other side. I'm one of them ones. You are not one of them ones, dog, because you ain't baking them one-on-one tackles when you need to.
Yeah, there's a bad play from him. I definitely think the guys. The real issue is that you don't get to come back from that kind of injury and just go back to where you were before it happened. We haven't seen a player on our team do it. Pollard's gone, even though that was a break. But there's been players for our team that had that same kind of injury, whether it be ACL or MCL. You just don't get to come back from that and be the same person. You're probably playing a little tentative. And we were expecting Bland to be on the other side of him for most of the season, from beginning to end. And that didn't happen. There's been so many hits that we keep taking, where it used to be in the past we had backups that could absorb these hits for us. We don't have that kind of depth anymore because we're still making very bad money decisions. I don't really know how to – there's just so many bad things. We do everything wrong, it feels like, man. I think we would have a fast show if we made the show about what is Dallas doing right.
You know what? I asked one of my old parents. I ran into him not too long ago at a store. And he was a physician for an NFL team. And I asked him, I said, okay, I know you're familiar with Trayvon Diggs and his ACL injury. I said it happened during week 2 of last season. He's back on the field now. He said he came back too soon. He said even though it happened earlier in last season, and even with the surgery, because he had the surgery months after that ACL injury, because the swelling had to go down, and even with training him, getting him prepped up, he wasn't supposed to hit the field until like week 8 or week 9.
But that's all good and dandy. But don't be on your ass on social media talking about you one of them ones. You one of the ones that travels. Like that shit just don't say nothing at all. Like Tank always used to get on the Twitter and talk about some shit after a loss or whatever, trying to make the shit right. Like, look, man, like that, get off the iPad and you need to be firing up some folks in their ass on that whole team, or somebody needs to become a villain on this team, because I don't see it. Injuries or not, like culture is the definition. The culture is the word of the day for the Cowboys. And that's why we suck. It starts with our owner.
I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick. Okay. Why is it an issue? It's not an iPad. They got the Surface tablets. Why is it okay if another known quarterback thrown the same amount of interceptions, and when they get back to the bench and they get on their Surface iPad, why is it that nothing is said to them, but it always come back to that? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the camera was on the 3 at the end of the bench. The camera's always, our fans are memes now. People are scared to go to games because they don't want to get on the camera and become a fucking meme.
And my thing is, and what's on those pads, because when I went to the pro day, when I went to Howard University's pro day, a lot of those coaches do have those tablets and everything. And what they show is what happened on a play or during a training. So they have to see, okay, yeah, I threw a pick. I'm going to get back. Let me see what happened.
I get that,
so I know,
but every time Dak goes and sits down on the bench, like that shit is like, dog, like if you fucking up, stand up on the sideline and let the camera get you in front of everybody else. Like looking at that iPad when he down 30 fucking points, that ain't gonna help.
And again, BG, you can't do the things like you used to.
Well, I'm just pissed off because Dak wants to defer to the iPad when he got that heat on his ass.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft has a contract in these to make sure that they look at these things a specific amount of times on camera, dude.
There you go. Maybe Bob might be on to something. Maybe that's what we all got, owners and players in the league all playing in front of fans' faces. So I want to ask y'all that. How would y'all feel if Jerry really told Dak and CD, look, I'm not going to pay y'all until right before preseason's about to start. So just do whatever you do.
Well, that was about to be the case with Dak. He was about to play with no security.
No, I'm just saying, how would you feel if you knew? I know you may know, Bob may know. If you're watching right now, how would you feel if Jerry Jones went to Dak and CD and say, look, man, we got to run this media shit up, man. We got to make some more money for the brand so you guys can get paid. So we're going to hold out and let everybody talk about it until we go. I don't care about the salary cap. I don't care about none of that other shit. I'm worth fucking $10 billion, Jack. You're going to do what the fuck I say. That sounds like a narcissist to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past Jerry. I mean, I was having a conversation with some gentlemen at the meetup last night. Shout out to my guy Orlando over there and Roland. Roland and James, rather. We were talking about it. I said, I think there was one reason why Kellen Moore was made an offensive coordinator, and one reason only. Because if they hired him, Jerry knew that he could trust him, that if they hired him, he would take the leadership from Jerry Jones on who to distribute the ball, when, and how in this offense, so they could predicate how they would want to pay and win.
In other words, he would have been another puppet.
Exactly. So is that what Mike McCarthy is? Because if I'm Mike McCarthy, like at some point I'm gonna be like, man, look, y'all just ain't gonna do me. I mean, I'm a man at the end of the day. I'm not gonna allow another man to do that to me at the end of the day, especially on the fucking team. Like at some point, somebody gonna have to man up on this team, when the players, in the staff, in the front office, somewhere, somebody gonna have to man up, because I don't see it. This culture don't say man up to me. Like everybody's saying we're soft as Charmin. It's evident. You can go in and beat Dallas at home. They are soft. Punch them in the mouth. They're not gonna fight back, and we just gonna run them ragged.
You don't have a lot of fight, man.
And like what Jalen Smith said once before, why should we care if the owner doesn't?
So what do fans do? What do fans do? Because we know some fans are ready to not spend money and buy merchandise and buy tickets. And I get it. We're all creating boundaries differently with our team. That is how you have to treat a narcissist, is you have to create boundaries. You cannot allow the domestic abuse to continue. What do? Especially for us diehard fans, because I think we're entering this era. Like, remember when we was 1-15 before social media? Like a lot of social media fans don't understand them days. Like, are we like, because some fans think we're not even going to make it to 9 wins with this team right now.
Well, right now, honestly, we may not. Like I said, when the season first started.
Wrong.
Check back with me during the bye week, and we're going to recalibrate the predictions. Yeah, I had them going 11-6, but that 11-6, just like your 13-4. Or 14-3, whatever your prediction was.
I ain't even tripping on my picks. I mean, they're going to obviously lose more than 4 games. I mean, we can only be mad about that for a certain amount of time. We got to move on.
It's looking very dismal right now.
Jeremy says, if we had a solid running game, we wouldn't be 3-3. Let me just preface this right now. What is a solid running game? What starts with a solid running game? Is it the running back or the offensive line? Or is it the play calling? Can we just figure that out? Is it play calling, the offensive line, or the running back? Can we start?
Objection. He's leading the witness, Your Honor. He's leading the witness.
I'm gonna tell you something. I watched the post game with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Which
by the way, we're 3-1 with him calling games, right?
Robo Brady.
Yeah. He said a lot of things that made sense. He was like, this is not the team that I played. He said whether Dallas took a win or they took a L, this is not the same team. He was like, the team is not connected with each other. I'm just paraphrasing. He said, and the one thing that he has seen that is lacking is they don't initiate the running game, or they abandon the running game. He said, if I was the coach, I would be making adjustments while the game is going on. He said what they should have done was start off with passes, and then once you start off with your passing game, then you throw that running game in and just let it ride. I was like, thank you, Tom.
Well, why did Jerry hire Mike McCarthy to begin with? Mike McCarthy doesn't have the capability to make those adjustments. He's a head coach. I'm not trying to, argue with you, KELZ. I'm just being devil's advocate here. I mean, why can't Mike McCarthy do that?
The last coach that did do that was Jason freaking Garrett. Jason freaking Garrett was the last coach to do that. And we see there's nothing we can do. Yeah, we can't discount his passion. We also understand that he just wasn't the greatest coach, and we kept him for a little too long. But everything else that McCarthy is, Garrett isn't. And he had all that intelligence. He had football intelligence.
And let me tell you, I've met Jason Garrett. I've met him, and I even asked him,
what the fuck, Jason?
No, it was not only WTFs. He said it's been plenty of times where him and Jerry did not agree with what the state of the team was when he was the coach. He said he spent 95% of the time going rogue on what Jerry Jones said, because he said, I am playing for my boys.
So basically, Jerry Jones thinks he knows football, but he doesn't. That's where we're at.
He did back in 68. You know what I mean? Like, I think for sure he did back in 68.
And not only that, Jason Garrett also told me that every year trends in football changes. And he was keeping up with the trends. Jerry Jones was not for it, because Jerry Jones wanted to run it the way he wanted to run it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we can't even get Steven to do what Steven wants to do, because Steven's got to answer to his dad anyway. We don't even know that if Jerry goes and Steven takes over, I was going to say it may just be worse, where it's going to be what Steven wants. And then, well, maybe we got head coaches that play for Steven. They're going to enjoy it more than they enjoy playing for Jerry. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know where the answers are, but I know that, like we're talking about, the trickle down effect, without talking about Reagan, has everything to do with what we're expecting as owners and bringing that all the way down through the lines of the coaching staff. And right now, I don't even understand why Al Harris isn't our defensive coordinator. I don't understand why we don't have modern guys coaching this team instead of people who were doing it 20 years ago for a league that doesn't exist anymore.
I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The NFL now stands for, it's not no more fun, no fun league no more. It now stands for National Friends League.
Mm-hmm. Now look at that. Homies,
we're in the National Friends League. Well, at least from Micah's standpoint. Now, this was one of the guys that was at the end of the bench talking about this game, but he's got the wherewithal to go out after the game to get a photo with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And with that being said, let me just point out something, because not all Cowboys feel the same. If you notice, I follow Michael Leslie. He also put up, if you have not remembered, there was a beef going on between Amon-Ra St. Brown and our guy. What's his name? What's his defensive back name over here? Slips my mind right quick. Jordan Lewis. J. Lou. Yeah. J. Lou. So I guess Amon-Ra St. Brown put up a story, and you see down there at the bottom, J. Lou responded, "You're a bitch. You a bitch." And, you know, because there was that feud that was going on. And this is what Jordan Lewis had to say. He says, that was between me and him. He decided to show the world. Well, I mean, what's worse? Is it that, or is it Micah showing the world that it's now the National Friends League? What do you think, KELZ? What's your take on this with players and their attitudes toward other players and teams? Like, there's no more rivalries. There's no more bad blood. It seems like it's the National Friends League now.
I'm not putting energy to that, because when honestly at the end of the day, like, I've been on opposite sides with other people, and I'm cool with them. We don't have no choice over who we play for and whatnot. And that's just like, I have two sorority sisters who play for two of the female football teams that's in DC.
Yeah,
they're
that
on
makes
opposite
sense.
teams. So when they meet up and everything, yeah, they gonna give love and all this other stuff. But when it's time to play, F the friend stuff. I don't care what you do after, before or after. I care what goes on for 60 minutes on the field for 4 hours.
Well, I don't just think it's a good look, especially because Mike is hurt. He's got a podcast, and I'm actually going to listen to his podcast this week for the first time. I'm going to listen to a full episode, because I'm going to be searching for answers, especially maybe will he allude to what the conversation was down there at the end of the bench, because just like Michael Irvin said, hope they're not talking about what they're going or where they're going to do during the bye week, instead of trying to figure out how they're going to fix this shit during the bye week. That's going to tell the tape of this team when we come out week 7 in San Fran.
And what they did is no difference than what Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors did. A couple of weeks ago when they played each other. They were LSU teammates, and then even before the game, they were playing throw 'em up with the kids in the crowd. So,
I think the problem with this situation is this shit is all front and center, and when it gets thrown in your face in the amidst the defeat like this, it just hurts a little bit more. Especially talking about someone like Parsons, who, and many times in his career, has shown greatness. But when he is taken out of a game, he is taken out of a game in his own mind, and it no longer is a problem for any team once he is taken out of this game. So I already know that physically he's a gifted player, but mentally he's still got a lot to work with, and he's still got a lot to learn, because he can be taken out of a game at any given way. Without a problem, and never come back because he gets into his own head. But like you're talking about, the jersey swap and all that stuff, we have to realize, and we're going to be some of the last generation of people to talk about this, because we were alive and watching this before free agency. And again, I'll keep going back to free agency, but free agency started the greed, and the greed factor is now even tenfold because of social media. So we understand everybody's all about the paycheck, but it's even more evident now because of what we're talking about. These two guys that we're had a bitter rivalry. I don't know if this is before or after the game, whatever. It still shows that you don't really care about that we're still going to be friends, which is not what fans want to see, man. We feel the rivalry more than the players feel it, I feel like, most of the time.
Bingo.
And we don't really want to see these guys being cool with each other. So like, that shit's all cool in the background, dude, but I don't want to see pictures of this on fucking Twitter after we just got stomped by these dudes. You and him, like, you're cool. You guys are friends, so you don't give a fuck about the rivalry or whatever. Awesome. It showed on the field for the rest of the team. That's the kind of stuff we just don't want to see anymore, man.
And to piggyback with what you said with the jersey swap, yeah, we're seeing it now because it's it's being shown.
Yeah, social media. We got 24-hour news coverage.
But back in the day, before it was social media,
Kelly froze up there. It's all good. We still with you. Just pause for a second, Kelly. You look real. There you go. Yeah, we was losing you there. You on Wi-Fi? Hello? Can you hear us now?
Good.
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
All right. Did everyone catch what I just said?
Nope.
Yeah, no, you just froze.
Okay, so what I was saying, to piggyback with what Bob.
Oh yeah. We get 24-hour news coverage. We see the jersey swap shit. Yeah. Right. Before then, I get it. But still.
But before all that, we know of players that have, opposing teams' jerseys, but those were done like behind the scenes, like let's say for example,
it's not even about the jersey swap. It's just like Bob said, it's in front of our fucking faces. Like, fans want the fucking blood. We don't want friends. We don't want National Friends League. We want National Feud League. That's what we want. Feuds.
But BG, what I was saying is a lot of this stuff now is in our face where it used to be behind the scenes.
We know. We get it.
So, stuff was mailed to people and stuff like, hey,
but it's in the front. It's in the front. It's when we're losing and then you're on a podcast and you're in the front. Like, we get it. Like, but there's got to be a fine line. There's no fine line between the fans. Jerry always brings up, I felt sorry for our fans that came out and seen that product that I put out on the field because it's a piece of shit, but I feel bad for our fans. Like, we can't, like, that's narcissist shit. Like, I'm gonna treat you like shit, motherfucker. You just gonna have to take it. Do you hear me? I don't want to hear you complaining. You're not gonna get no leeway. You're gonna do what I say, when I say, how I say, or it's a highway.
And again, like I said before, and I said it backstage, and I said it a couple of times already on lives. These players love what football brings to them. They do not love the game of football. So this is what we are seeing. This is what we're experiencing. This is what we are exhibiting.
Good morning, Jeremy. How you doing? You haven't been blocked yet, so that's not a true statement. Fake news during an election season. Come on, you can do better than that.
It couldn't be any more evident, KELZ, than on the field that that's the case. I mean, I see players take. I don't even know if it was us. I've just seen it so many times where I see somebody reach like they're going to go for a pass, but they don't because they know they're going to get hit. Like all these little tiny things, they start adding up to the optic of a team with a bunch of players on it that absolutely do not want to take any chances to ruin their paycheck. And that's really the biggest problem. It's not about, we've taken away all these hits and stuff like that because of CTE, and that I'm all for. But again, that wasn't done to protect humans. That was done to protect investments. These other things that are being done that are limiting the football game itself are really the issues. And all of that lends itself to lazy plays, not hard hits, no one really going hard on anything. People afraid to put their head down the way they used to put their head down because it's illegal. I mean, Zeke was really the last running back I've seen get a flag for doing that on offense. And that's just insane to me. No one's got toughness anymore.
And wasn't it last year that the CBA and the NFLPA agreed to no longer doing the not the hip drop?
Hey, look who we got here. Hey, Dallas Cowboys hater nation. You still fucking hating for free? Show me your bank statements you getting paid over there by Facebook. Otherwise, get the fuck off my live, chump. And for Jeremy, I got something for you too, baby. If you can't see, open your fucking eyes and read. I'm sorry, KELZ. The haters is out today, boy. They out there. Them haters winning, boy, because when America's team loses, the rest of the world wins.
That hip drop was after the Pollard injury. That's when it started. I think it got floated around, but I know you're talking about a different one too. But I can't remember what the heck it was.
It wasn't a hip drop.
No, it wasn't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No tackles was being made. All kind of tackles was being made.
Wasn't it the pickup slam down thing?
It's all culture.
That's what it was.
It's all culture. Yeah. It's all culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, our team sucks right now, hater, but you wouldn't have a page if it wasn't for our team. Who is your real team? Tell us who your real team is right now, or I'm going to just block your ass. Let me know, hater nation, for your fun is all done and over with today here. Just let me know. Let me know who your team is, and I'll let you stay alive. Sorry, y'all. We got them haters up on here. I told everybody who's pissed off to tap in this morning. Haters are taking their shots today.
It's not actually our team, right? Like, we don't own it.
I know.
But my thing.
I'm talking to home.
I don't give energy, space, or concern.
Oh, I do. I love it. Y'all know I love fucking with them haters, boy, because them haters run deep. Them haters keep me in business, baby. Jeremy says, I can read and see they ain't on there in your feelings. Bro, what are you talking about? You're a fucking troll at this point. I will block you after the fact because you're a fucking troll. Matter of fact, let me go block your dumb ass right now. We allowed you to stay here and be alive. Everybody's seen as a witness here today. But other than that, yeah, I mean, going into the bye, we got San Francisco 49ers up next, y'all.
Oh, shit.
And then we got the Atlanta Falcons on the road, both on the road. We got to go to the Pant Stadium. I'll be boots on ground in ATL. Hater Nation, if you're going to be down there, come down there and see me. Let me know who your team. Hope it ain't the ATL Falcons, baby.
Let me tell you something. We are America's team, all right? That's something that we know. It's something we've all got eyes on us all the time. But here are two things that Americans are. The two things that Americans love to do. Americans love to spend money, and we like to fight for our squad, no matter who our squad is, whether it's our team, whether it's our religion, whether it's our whoever the hell we're voting for. Everyone's got their little squads, and we want to fight for it. There's a lot of reasons why the Dallas Cowboys are the most popular and lucrative sports franchise. Those two things, spend money and fight for your squad, are the reasons why Dallas still stays in everyone's mouth. Because we don't need to look good on the field for everyone else to still hate our organization because of the success we've had in our lifetime. It's the craziest thing in the world. But until we start limiting how much money Dallas pulls in, which isn't going to happen ever, by the way, no one's going to stop buying this shit in a large enough percentage to actually matter. But until that happens, no one in the organization is going to think they're doing anything wrong. And checks are still coming in.
And let me tell you one thing that I have found out recently. So right here, they're not Washington Commanders because they're not in Washington right now. So they're the Landover Commanders. Myself and Shamika, we called as far as like getting, for tickets and everything. What was told to both of us were they're limiting giving tickets to opposing team fans because they want Washington, or not Washington, they want the Landover fans to come back, because there was a point in time where it doesn't matter what your team was, it ended up being a home game for that team because Commander fans were not showing up for anything.
For the Commander fans, I got the link in the comments. Dallas Cowboy Hater Nation, pull your sack out and get up on the show if you got a pair, baby. Let's go. Let's get it going.
So with that, now that they're on a roll and everything, they're under new ownership, a brand new coaching staff, and the owners is not interfering with the coaching staff. They let the coaches do their job.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They're not. They have basically sold out, of their season ticket holders. They really want home games to be true home games with a sprinkle of opposing teams to filter in.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's reverse that to Jerry. In Jerry's world, Jerry does not care if there is not one Cowboys fan in that stadium, because Green Bay travels well, Pittsburgh travels well, New Orleans travels well.
I heard a lot of Detroit in that crowd yesterday. I know that. I heard a lot of Detroit people yelling.
San Francisco travels well. Baltimore travels well. As long as Jerry is selling out that stadium, he don't give a damn if there's one Cowboys fan there.
Hey, Dale, first of all, fuck LeBron James and the Niners. And secondly, I'll put on my Hook 'em Horns shirt. So let me know who your college team is first. It's all about them horns, baby. We number one. Let me know, Dale. Better not be the Hook'ems. I know my guys, Bob's is the U. Who's your college team, Kel? You got a college team?
I rep all historically black.
Oh, that's right. You did say that for the record. Yeah, all the HBCUs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Let us know, Dale. Who is your college team? Because I'll be putting on my Hook'em shit before my Lakers shit, goofy. Oh, he's got to be a Hook'em too. Look at that. Oh, how convenient, huh? I guess you're going to come over here and watch me and my Hook'em content, right, Dale? Come on, baby. Keep it up. Comment, and you're going to be a top fan before too long. Well, I wanted to give everybody a chance to tap in here today because I'm pissed off. I know y'all are pissed off. There's no excuses other than culture. That is the only excuse with this franchise. It's culture. And it starts with our owner, who is a grandeur narcissist.
Yeah, there's no fight and fire because there doesn't need to be a fight and fire. Really, once we started becoming this destination for a paycheck, that's really when the toughness of this team went out, where the hardness of the brand went out, where before, when I used to see the star as like this sort of cement Mount Rushmore thing, now I sort of see it as like a spinning rim. It's just sort of been marketed to the point where it's not really. There's no toughness.
Is it true now? Is the Dallas Cowboys star a 1-star rating? Is that what it is? I might be buying into this shit, especially with the shit we got to deal with, like to be put through this. Like, what do the loyal, diehard folks go through with this?
To me, the Cowboys now, and I love the team. Since a kid, Landry was still the coach. The team now, the way that I look at it as the state is more like an entertainment exhibition team.
It's the league.
It's a modeling team. I think it's the model team for the league to promote and market it. Why else is Jerry Jones worth $10 billion in the Dallas Cowboys? Double any other franchise in the league currently, maybe less than a handful of, might be, worth $6 billion, but the Cowboys at $10 billion. How do you get a franchise at $10 billion without going to a Super Bowl or an NFC championship game in 29 years? It's got to be. We're the marketing team for the league.
We've had to outplay our brand. The team, when Dez caught it in Green Bay, that team was a Super Bowl caliber team. Last year was a Super Bowl caliber Dallas Cowboys squad, from offense to defense, up and down the board. Why we can't seem to break that barrier, I don't know. But I know that it has everything to do with everything we just talked about in this conversation today. Because if they were tougher, they would have been able to outplay the bad defense that was called in that game last year from Dan Quinn. If they were smarter, they would have been able to outplay and do all the things that they didn't do. We just don't have that extra care and that extra gear in many of the things that we do. So it's really not always about the talent on this team. We've had some awesome squads in the 30 years we've done nothing to go to a Super Bowl. And I don't understand why we can't get over that hump. But again, I really do believe it's a big jambalaya and gumbo of all the stuff we were talking today about not caring and making money and just not trying to get hurt. So you're not giving it your all. You're not putting your head in there to catch this pass. It's all about preserving their lives to move on to what they do after football. That's what I feel. Their life isn't football. It's what happens after they make their millions and go out into the world. And it shows on the field that that's exactly how the NFL is right now.
And then also look at it like this. Look at the youth environment of the coaches right now that we have in the league. And those the type of coach, because I hear all the time, we need this type of coach for Dallas. But like I said during the pregame show leading up to this game, the Cowboys organization is the most stressful, hardest job to ever have, because you will not have no say.
That's what narcissists do. That's narcissist control. Narcissist control from the owner creates the culture. That's where we're at. And just like what Shamika says here, Dallas Diva tapping in, Green Bay supporter, we see you. Thank you for the Crown Royal about a chance. If the Cowboys make you drink a fucking smoke, thank you, Shamika, for mailing this to me. I got a bottle of Crown here with the Cowboy bag and everything. If you really like the content, if you're tired of supporting the Cowboys, support your Cowboy content creators. Hit that button down there below, become a supporter for your chance to win. More information on that next week. She says, until this team decides on who they want to be and finds an identity, we will have these conversations and disappointment. I think she hits the nail on the head. We don't have an identity. We don't know who we are. We don't have no true leader. And when you're under the control and abuse of a domestic violence situation like this grandiose narcissist of our owner, Jerry Jones, the beatings will continue. And we don't have answers. I just wanted to make sure everybody could tap in here today and tap in and tell us how you feel. So if you watch this after the fact, make sure you use hashtag replay and let us know how you feel. What are you guys going to be doing this week on the bye week? Just to ask y'all real quick. Y'all got anything planned for the bye week this weekend?
Well, I'm going to watch the Cowboys get another L in the bye week.
Houseway.
The way we looking, we're going to get L's a lot. No, I'm actually going to Richmond on Saturday for my Nana's birthday. If you are in the DC, DMV, Nova area, the CSA show will be happening this week. Cowboy Saturday will be on this Saturday. Randy White will be there as well as.
So you're gonna be at the CSA shows this weekend?
No, I'll be in Richmond.
That's right. You did say. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll be getting ready to see what's with the San Fran. On to San Fran.
Yep, we got San Fran on the road at the Pant Stadium. Week 8 after the bye, we got Atlanta. Week 9 on the road. I will be there, boots on ground. So while you're hitting that subscription badge down there for your chance to win a bottle of Crown Royal, you'll be able to see all of the exclusive footage of boots on ground. There are a ton of fan events going down. Shout out to all of the fan clubs. Shout out to Star Gang Atlanta. Shout out to Fan Zone. We see Dallas Diva on here. There's going to be a lot of Cowboy fans events in Atlanta. You're going to want to see that inside content. So make sure you hit that subscription button down there below. Bob, what you got planned for the bye week this weekend? You going to the gym?
I'm going to go to the gym at least 6 times this week. On top of that, I'm lucky enough. I got my brothers from Miami coming in town. Ken Man and my buddy Brian are going to be in town. We're going to go Saturday. We're going to go hang out and watch the Canes. And then we're going to go see Iron Maiden. So we're going to go see Iron Maiden that night. And we're going to just relax on Sunday. They're going to be taking off on Sunday. I don't think I have to take them to the airport. So I don't have to worry about our team, though, which is a good thing. As much as I know I knew we were going to get beat yesterday, I still didn't want to watch it. It's not something I enjoy. It's not something where I can sit there and watch the whole thing and be cool with it. Like, I've got to leave and separate myself from this shit because it still hurts my heart. But lucky enough, we have a bye week this week after that stomping. I tell you what Jerry's not going to do this week. He's not going to give up a second-round pick, extra compensation, and take over Davante Adams' contract in order to bring him into Dallas, which is exactly what they want if you want Davante Adams right now. So I know Jerry's not doing that. Don't look for any more additions to this team. If we're lucky, we lose out the entire season and have an awesome position in the draft to build around the people that we paid a lot of money to.
Is that what Jerry meant?
That is what I'm hoping for, man.
Is that what Jerry meant by all in? We're going to go all in with what we got, the trash, the bargain bin, the no signings, to pay these players all the money, and we're going to fucking tank for the draft. Is that what Jerry means? Y'all let us know in the hashtag replay down there below.
Yeah.
He'd be genius if he did mean that. I mean, I'm not even lying. We just spent so much money on a few players that if we don't have a good draft position and we don't have a good draft, we're going to be in cap hell for a long time because we're just going to be nitpicking on free agents that suck.
Yeah. Hey, Barry, I do have the list. So October 19th, Cowboy Saturday, CSA show in Chantilly, Virginia. Mel Renfro, Jay Novacek, Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, and Randy White.
Nice. That's October 19th. Also, October 19th, next Saturday, we'll be live. We'll have our special guest, Stoney, from Stoney Kirsch's Smithsonian. Yeah, so Stoney will be on here telling you all about how to win 2 tickets to the Texans versus Cowboys game. That's on November 19th. So you'll get a couple of weeks in advance. What does that include? The 2 tickets. You'll also get a tour of Stoney's house. You'll be able to park there exclusively for free, and he'll take you to and from the game on the tickets that you win. So tap in with us next Saturday to learn how to win the social media challenge of Stoney Kirsch. And I'll tell you what I'll be doing this weekend. Yes, Dale said it right. We got the Longhorns in Georgia playing this weekend. You know, my undefeated Hook'em Horns. Y'all might see BG slide from being a Cowboys dude to the Hook'em dude. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to see some more Hook'em content, let me know. We can talk them Longhorns, but that's what I got planned this week because I'm not messing with these Cowboys, man. I'm making my picks this week. I might watch a little football, but I'll tell you, I'm going to watch some college football. So shout out to all of them Texan Longhorn fans out there. We appreciate y'all tapping in today. This is the post game with my guy Bob and KELZ with the Intels. We appreciate y'all joining us for an hour this morning to vent your frustrations, especially when it comes to this narcissist. You've got to create your boundaries with this team, especially with this owner. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in an emotional state in a sunken place. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's it. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. And, you know, like Dandy Don says it best all the time, right? Y'all know what time it is. And the lanes. The domestic abuse of violence is over.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.